One of the biggest requests is to do a video about my Kitfox. So I flew to Clarksburg. It's a nice grass runway, and today we're going to talk about this beautiful Kitfox, the Redfox. Believe it or not, it's almost over a year and a half ago that I purchased this Kitfox, and I have been incredibly lucky to be able to find this one. I was lucky enough to buy from a guy that actually works at Kitfox today, and he's responsible for the light sport Kitfoxes that come out of the factory there. So I think the best way for me to show the Kitfox is to do a walk around from the outside, and I'll show you what are the things that have changed, the things that I'm thinking about changing it, and then we'll take a look inside and I'll show you the panel and I explain some of the features that I have on the panel and why I chose this panel specifically. A lot of questions about my panel. One of the first things that I did was the spinner. For some reason I didn't feel the spinner was a good match with the chrome. It was a chrome spinner before, and I decided to do this hydrodipping with a carbon fiber. It turned out to be fantastic, and it's been there for about a year and a half now, and there's no wear on the spinner, which I thought it was going to be some wear to it. So the second thing that I did was to remove the wheel pants and put a little bit of a bigger tire on it. I wasn't comfortable going to off-field airports for the first 6 months or so, and then as I got more comfortable with the Kitfox, then I put this little bigger tires that enables us to go to grass fields like this, or some a little bit more rough areas that we go around here. From the outside, there's really not much more that I have changed. The Kitfox in specific is the Model 5. It has the standard wing, and I believe mine has an extension to this wing to give a little bit more wing to it. So it's a little bit bigger than the standard Kitfox, I believe. I'm not really familiar with all the models and all the differences between them. The tail, it's a Scott tail with a spring-loaded system from Grove, the same thing as the landing gear, and those are standard that came with the Kitfox, and they work pretty well actually. There's not a lot of bounce with the spring gear, and I'm pretty happy about the combination between the Aero Classic tires and the spring gear. However, I am designing a different kind of a bush gear for the spring-loaded gear, so hopefully I can share that with you guys. And it's sort of a combination between a shock gear and a spring-loaded that will fit the Kitfox and several other aircraft that has the spring gear. So the engine is a standard Kitfox 912 ULS engine. I have done nothing to it but fly. It has worked very well, performs flawlessly. The only change that I have made was install the fuel return line. You can guys watch that video here, right here on the description, and that's basically it. The other installation that I did not on the engine but on the firewall forward was to install the smoke system, which is the smoke system is something that everybody loves, and it was pretty easy to do it. And if you are interested in learning how it was done, I posted a link on Team Kitfox. You can go there and search smoke system or Kitfox smoke system. You're gonna probably find the link there. Now, as far as the instrument panel goes, the original panel that I had here, it was really old, so I knew that I wanted to change and put some more modern avionics. More specifically because I fly quite often under Class Bravo airspace, Class Charlie airspace, and having that additional situation awareness with the Garmin was very important for me. And on top of that, it modernized things. It makes actually the panel a lot lighter. What I had before was, I think, was 7 pounds heavier than what I have now. So I decided to use the Garmin G3X Touch, which is absolutely incredible. I love it. And as a backup, the iPad with ForeFlight, and the mount was recessed on the panel. I thought I was going to use more the ForeFlight, but the Garmin is so effective that I basically don't ever use the iPad anymore. Just when I want to check additional information like weather information via the XM radio link. I do get a lot of questions about the frame of the panel itself. So basically what I did, I took a bare aluminum piece which came from Kitfox, already cut it, and I went to this company that does hydrodipping, and once you do the hydrodipping, they do the clear coat, which makes nice and glossy. And then I design all of the graphics that I need, all of the icons and the fixtures that I wanted to be on the panel. I designed that, and I took to a print shop that actually printed on top of it. So that is actually an inkjet printer that printed on top of it. There's no labels in there. And I turned really nice and sharp, and the graphics are very crisp. So overall, the biggest change that I made on the instrument panel is the one that I like the most. It's very well put it together. The transponder is the normal 327, the Garmin 327, and the radio, to be honest, I can't remember which radio I used, but it's one of those Garmin ones. Works pretty well. I don't have a DSB out yet, probably installing before the end of this year, and but I do have a DSB in with the Cirrus XM weather and radio and all that stuff, which actually works really well with the iPad. So I can connect the iPad, and I can connect the Garmin as well with, I think it's the GDL 39. That's the box that I have. So then I decided to change the seats as well. The seats that I had, I believe it was the original Kitfox. You know, this Kitfox is about 15 years old, so it was the original seats. And I'm not a tall guy, so I want to have a little bit more padding. So I contacted Oregon Aero, which they were really great to work with. And what I basically did, I designed the colors, I designed the pattern that I wanted to, and I sent it over to them, sent it over the old seats, and they basically cut it, the old seats, with more padding, and they wrapped you know, the new foam, but the shape, the size, they actually used from the old seats. And the same thing with the side panels. I also designed the side panels, sent it over to them, and they just basically redid it. And when I got it, they basically fit perfectly. It's all Velcro on the sides, and so I really recommend Oregon Aero if you're looking for the seats. The foam they use is incredible. So I used to have a lot of back pain after like a 1-hour flight, and now I have nothing. So it's really nice and good quality foam they use. So I think that's pretty much it about the Kitfox, and I couldn't be happier with this type of flying. It's very different from what I used to fly, and I love the challenge of trying to go to remote areas. I enjoy the whole backcountry portion of this. I like the communities, it's a little bit different, and I'm still trying to soak that all in and enjoying every minute of it. It's interesting that you know, with the Kitfox, or I would say this type of flying with a tail dragger, I believe, it feels like every flight is an incredible experience, and you can't get better. But somehow the next flight you do, it's just better, and it's just, you can't explain until you start flying this type of airplane. So if you are on the verge, or if you're looking, I'm sure that There are a lot of options out there, but the Kitfox is an honest airplane. The reason number one why I chose the Kitfox to begin with was side-by-side sitting. I like to interact with my passengers. I like to have their reaction. I like to see their expressions. So that is important for me. And the second biggest reason was the cruise speed. You know, I cruise 120 something miles per hour, and everybody else, so the big guys, the Cubs and all that, are not cruising with that speed, and I appreciate that. I like to get places a little bit faster. And I know there's a penalty on how short you can land, but from the kind of flying that I do, I can take that penalty all day long. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this walk around on my Kitfox. If you have any questions, please ask them on a comment below. If you like my videos, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See you.